Now you are going to create the interior wall objects for this project. The interior walls are responsible for separating the different rooms or spaces that are in a building. As you see here, this interior wall separates bedroom 2 from bedroom 1. This interior wall separates the living room and the kitchen. These interior walls usually travel in a horizontal or a vertical direction. If you look in the Essex PDF file, which are the construction documents for this project, if you look on page 2 of this document, item 9 on page 2 refers to the framing members or the structural members used to build the interior or partition walls. The interior or partition walls are made of 2x4 pieces of wood. These are called studs. An example of 2x4 studs are located here in this image. These are the framing members or the structural members that make up an interior or partition wall. So these are called studs. This image here shows you the gypsum wallboard that is used to cover up the studs. This gypsum wallboard is placed on the inside and the outside of the studs. So the typical makeup of an interior or partition wall is gypsum board, the framing member, which could be wood, metal, or masonry block, and gypsum board on the other side. If you look at this image uses what is called a metal stud. On the outside of this stud is what is called gypsum wallboard. If you look at item 14 on page 2 of the construction documents, the gypsum wallboard is considered lath and plaster. It tells you in this document that the interior walls, as well as on the inside of the exterior walls, that this is made of gypsum material. So in the building information modeling application, you are going to create an interior partition wall object that have the following components: 1/2 inch gypsum wallboard, a 2x4 wood stud, and 1/2 inch gypsum wallboard. So in the building information modeling application, you are going to create an interior partition wall object that have the following components: 1/2 inch gypsum wallboard, a 2x4 wood stud, and 1/2 inch gypsum wallboard. In the building information modeling software application, in the project browser, since these interior walls are going to be on the first floor, we need to make sure that we activate in the floor plan views, we need to activate the finished floor 1. You activate this level by double clicking on finished floor 1 under floor plans. In the drawing area at this point, you should at least see your exterior walls. To start the process of creating the interior wall object, you will need to select your Architecture tab. In the Architecture ribbon, in the Build section of the Architecture ribbon, you will need to select Wall. And you will need to select the option for Wall Architectural. In the Properties section, we will need to select a generic 6-inch wall. We need to select Edit Type. In the Type section, we will duplicate this wall and we're going to name it Interior 2x4 Partition Wall. After we name it, we're going to select OK. Beside the Structure option, you will select the Edit button. In the Edit Assembly, beside Layer 2, where it says Structure, we're going to change the material and we're going to select Softwood Lumber. In the Materials section, we will select Wood Stud Layer because this 2x4 is the framing member for the wall, which is the stud. So we'll select Wood Stud Layer for the material and we will select OK. The thickness, we will use the actual size of the 2x4, which the actual size will be 3 1/2 of an inch. In order to add the gypsum board on the outside of the stud, we will need to select Layer 1, which is the core boundary, and we will select the Insert button. The function of the gypsum wall board should be set to Substrate 2. The material, we will change the material to reflect gypsum wallboard. So we will select gypsum wallboard for the material and select OK. The thickness of the gypsum wallboard is 1/2 inch. On the inside of the wall, we need to add another gypsum board material. We will select number 4 in the layers for core boundary and select Insert. We want what is now layer 4 to be outside of the core boundary. So we will need to select layer 4 and select our down button. We will change the function of the gypsum board to Substrate 2. The material, we will select gypsum wallboard and select OK. For the thickness, we will make this 1/2 inch. If your Edit Assembly dialog box looks like this, then you will select OK. In the Type properties, beside Function, we will change where it says exterior, we will change this to say interior, because this is an interior partition wall. Select OK. Now you have created your interior 2x4 partition wall object.